He's insisting that we come and record a final podcast, and then the first thing he says is, "Don't swear. I don't want to edit it. Can't be bothered."
It's not about not being bothered. It's just about realising recently. Hello, everyone out there, by the way.
Hello.
While we're talking about this, we should probably include you in this conversation because we've not done a podcast for a little while.
Been busy.
Yeah, we've all had some stuff going on.
He's only introducing the show because he can't be bothered to edit it.
But you're almost giving me stuff to edit out there, aren't you?
No, because you could leave it in.
I could, and I probably will. So, yes, apologies for not doing a show for a little bit, because, we've kind of come to a little bit of a head with everything and realised that we've all got big projects to be getting on with.
Life finds a way to get in the way.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is, for all you fans out there, don't be disheartened. It's not like the podcast is going to completely disappear. I might have a reshuffle of the episodes online that are existing and do something with them there, or perhaps do a best of or something like that in over the next couple of months. But in the meantime, the podcast might be,
sporadic.
Sporadic is a great word for it. Yeah, just every now and then we decide, we've got a bit of spare time. Should we do a podcast? We'll stick one out there. Reduce our subscription on our what's the thingy? What are they called?
Surely we could find a web if we only did one a month.
Or one a
quarter
decade. Yep. Anyway,
then we could probably find a web podcast hoster that wouldn't even charge for that.
Probably
amazing.
You can probably put it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Do you pay for SoundCloud for your music anyway?
No, but it does mean that the amount of time that I've got on there is greatly reduced. So, for instance, the podcast we can only fit 3 episodes on there.
So there's a limit.
Yes.
There we go.
Not such a bad thing if you're recording music because the tracks are only 3 minutes long. But anyway, this is not talking about what we're talking about.
No.
Shall we just get the hell on with it? I'm pretty sure everyone out there gets the idea. We do appreciate you all for listening. You've been a wonderful audience and stuff. That's not the end of the podcast. We'll talk about this again later on, perhaps.
Yeah.
Let's start the show.
Da, 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 da.
Bow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to. It's just SNEW with the crew, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a. What's the word?
It's not a snooze button.
You know what? It's been so long, I can't even remember what they're called.
It's not a snooze button. It's not a retrocast. It's not a review with the crew. It's just a general SNEW with the crew.
And a possible glimpse into the future.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Anyway, so what we thought we'd talk about was current movie and TV universes, and a little bit of a kind of prediction from each of us as to where they're going to go and that sort of thing. So I've made a list, because you guys love lists.
Depends what the list is. If it's names of fan theories, we're probably not going to be as interested.
Shopping list, no, that's not the one. It's around here somewhere. Sorry. Anyway, right. Yes. So what do you want to do? Should we just jump straight in?
Yeah,
Should I just
go for it.
Hit you with some names and stuff? Right. So let's start with a big one, an obvious one. Marvel.
Movies or TV? Or
Bit
both?
of both. Yes. What's going to happen with Marvel?
I don't see it burning out anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, the James Gunn stuff is going to have a bit of an effect. You know, you've got some cast members that say they aren't going to be back for Guardians 3, for instance.
Yeah.
So
Guardians 3 ain't happening.
No, they've already...
It might not happen at all.
Pretty much.
They've already sort of half announced
it's on hold, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on the same sort of hold as the Star Wars universe is.
Is that on hold?
Yeah, like if it's not a numbered movie, it's just like perma-hold, isn't it?
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So it may still happen, but yeah, it's unlikely.
So, does this not affect the ongoing story, though? I suppose as far as the actual Guardians are concerned, yes, but
Guardians 3 comes technically after Infinity War 2 or whatever they're going to call it. So
Avengers 4.
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
Avengers 4.
Endgame.
So I doubt that it's actually going to have any effect on the Marvel Universe as a whole, because they could kind of make it so it ends the way they want it for the Guardians if they decide not to do it. It's a shame because they're massively popular.
And we don't get that Adam Warlock storyline.
No, that's true.
Let's talk about Infinity Gauntlet.
Go on then.
I have been subscribing to Marvel Unlimited and reading the most ridiculous amount of comics.
Okay. Have you been
including
reading?
the Infinity Gauntlet?
Okay.
And then I started the one after it.
So the Infinity Gauntlet is
which
the one
Infinity
after
War, I
the...
think.
Is that the original?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
where but it's weird because it starts and like the first page is Thanos already has the Infinity Gauntlet.
And this is him courting like death and stuff. Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
the one?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's a fucked up guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a crazy comic.
Yeah, it's good. I like it because it's a bit like Green Lantern and it's a bit spacey and like a bit out there and everyone's ridiculously overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ridiculously cosmic.
Yeah, yeah,
From-
yeah. It's
even
like-
for Marvel, it's like out there cosmic.
I've always said like so. It's weird because I like things like The Walking Dead, but I also like comics when they're really silly.
There's a place for all of
Like
it.
that final Crisis is so batshit. I love it because it's so mental.
I've never read Final Crisis. I don't think.
It's the one where Batman gets shot with a time bullet.
Oh
so
right.
you need to
Yeah.
know.
You said you were going to lend that to me.
Adam's got it.
Aha.
Didn't I give it?
Um,
I thought I gave it back. Oh,
Anyway.
never mind.
Yeah, so I read a load of comics.
So what's happening with you've started the one after Infinity
I
Gauntlet?
started it. I might have finished. No, sorry, I finished it. I think it's called Infinity War. It's where Adam Warlock has to. There's like at some point between the two comics, Adam Warlock purges himself of good and evil,
Right.
and his
Becomes
evil side
Spock.
becomes. Yeah, he gets like a reverse dimension version of himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who then makes clones of everybody, and they're like evil clones, and then Thanos has to save the day again.
Thanos
He's
has
like-
to save the day.
Yeah.
Because Thanos is like,
The only one willing to do.
well, yeah,
what
he'll
needs
do
to be
things,
done.
but he also is like he's a bit Sherlock Holmesy with his like he's always about 25 steps ahead of everyone else. Apparently,
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
apart from in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
But do we have a fairly good idea that how the second movie is going to pan out just because of
Captain America's a dead man
How do you know that?
because
Nobody's dead because they literally in the comic everybody's in the Soul Stone, and then they just reverse time to before he clicked his fingers.
right. Yeah. Captain Marvel. It's confirmed that she's going to be the new leader of the Avengers after Episode 4.
Yeah.
Captain America is a dead man, and I think Iron Man's a dead man as well.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready to change it to have a new Avengers team, and the best way they can do it without it just being that they change the actors and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't like this new Iron Man," is
Does Spider-Man
they
become
just
Iron
use
Man?
Infinity War. I hope not.
Spider-Man will basically become Iron Man. Yeah.
Is that happening in the comics?
No,
No.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
this is all separate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and then
yeah.
we'll have another
Do you
Spider-Man.
want to know why
If
Iron
they do
Man?
Miles Morales Spider-Man and then Peter Parker Spider-Man becomes the new Iron Man, then yeah, I'm on board. But
Do you want to know why Iron Man's a dead man?
Why? 'Cause
Classic
Robert Downey-
storytelling. They keep talking about his bloody wedding, don't they? Constantly, over and over again.
yeah,
Keep on bringing it up.
yeah,
Marriage to Pepper Potts.
yeah. He's
He's a
even
dead
talked about
man.
having children.
Yep, absolutely.
Why can't he just retire?
Why can't he be a little blue boy covered in what did they call nanotech?
Yeah,
Blue nanotech.
yeah.
That was a version of Iron Man once upon a time. That was
Yeah.
weird.
Tony, Anthony.
Anthony Stark.
Yeah. There's been a few versions.
Yeah. Well, it's like throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks, isn't it? Comic
Yeah.
books, really.
Yeah.
Everybody complains about, it's not the origin story in this Telltale game. It's all weird, and
But
it doesn't matter. It's comic books.
Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
They
Doctor
change all the
Strange-
time.
Basically, Doctor Strange replaced like Adam Warlock character, hasn't he?
Sort
Right, okay.
of. That's
Yeah.
how I kind of see it, yeah. Doctor
Because
Strange.
like, why you wouldn't need to bring like from a movie making perspective, they
Yeah.
go, we don't need to introduce this character who's pretty much exactly the same. As,
Yeah, yeah. I think they've basically gone, what characters can we use that people are going to understand who aren't into comic books are going to make the most sense in this film?
That we've already introduced.
Some that they've already introduced,
Yeah.
and then obviously Captain Marvel in the next one, she'll have been introduced, and it'll make sense for her to take the sort of heroic role at the end of the film. So
It would have been a bit silly to just introduce Adam Warlock straight away, wouldn't it? And just have him in the movie.
yeah.
You can't do it. You're not.
I don't know. They did it with
so-
Black Panther.
Eh.
They did Civil War, and they just introduced him in a in a small way to make him make sense, and then they did a Black Panther
They're just going to
film,
use Captain
so-
Marvel as the person who can physically beat him, aren't they?
Yeah, she's the overpowered
Yeah.
super being, isn't
Yeah,
she? So, yeah, she's going to come and kick some ass.
But I just don't like people say. I've heard a couple of people saying recently. One of my mates just went, "Oh, I'm fed up of comic book movies," and I was like, "Why?" And it's like, "Well, I just can't be bothered with them." And I'm like, "That's fine, but I really like them. Even some of the not so good ones are still okay, and I'd rather keep watching more and more comic books like movies for the next 20 years of my life, knowing that there's going to be good ones, bad ones, and those in between, than go to the cinema and watch pretty much anything else."
In one weekend, I watched Infinity Gauntlet. Is that what's called?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
You read it?
No, I watched it and then watched Ready Player One as well. And Infinity War's really fucking good.
Yeah.
The second time.
Oh, I
Ready
see.
Player
Yeah.
One is a movie of two halves. The first half of Ready Player One's really good, and I was like, "Wow, this is still good. That car chase is brilliant." And then the second key is brilliant, and then it's just like
Falls
very
apart,
good.
doesn't it, at the end?
The more time they spend out of the Matrix, it's just
Yep.
Um,
So you watched both of those films in one weekend, is that what you say?
yeah,
I did
Right.
as well, and the second time with Infinity. Well, that was the third time with Infinity War. It was.
Well, I've seen it
better.
5 times. No, I haven't.
It was
Seen Deadpool 2
even
again,
better though. Like I was expecting the third time to be like, "Oh, this is too much too soon." No, I loved it again. Like found other things in it that I enjoyed about it.
Did you watch the super duper cut of Deadpool 2 yet?
Not yet. No,
Go and
I've
watch
got
it.
it
Yeah,
on
I did.
Blu-ray.
It's online.
too
Go and
long.
watch it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd watched the theatrical cut.
Yeah?
I found as much as I enjoyed that film, it was too long. For
I
me.
really enjoyed it because of the fact I'd seen the shorter version, I suppose. But Gilly really
Yeah.
enjoyed it as well. But it was very good.
Ready Player One, I had no time for the second time. That was third time. That was even worse.
More importantly, though, Marvel, Blade.
Yeah.
You know that he's in talks to play the character again?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Don't see why not.
vampires not age.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but he's
it's
only
true,
half vampire, so
And he looks pretty good for his age, to be fair. And he is only half vampire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, saying that, we watched Seven last night,
Oh, yeah.
and Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't aged in 20 years, mate.
Hmm.
well, no.
She's a pretty lady.
I think when you don't move around much and you've got a husband from a band called Coldplay, that tends to keep your
Not anymore.
keeps your endorphins down enough to keep you looking young long enough. Even if she's not with him anymore, that was a long enough life living with him that it probably stopped her from having any emotions that wrinkled her face.
Isn't
with
she from the guy
happiness.
from Counting Crows? With the guy from Counting Crows now? What's his name? Dave Manzer? No, Dave. Can't remember what his
Dunno.
name is.
Didn't know that.
No one cares. She's
Moving
clearly
on.
got a type, though, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Men in bands.
Musicians. So yes, anyway, so there's talks of a TV show and a movie role
Cool.
for Blade, which is cool.
That might be the point where they start crossing over the TV shows with the films more. If Blade starts that and it works,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I
absolutely.
imagine they'll start doing that.
Do Blade and Punisher cross over quite a bit, like they did in the Spider-Man cartoon?
Blade and Punisher, yes.
They have had
There are-
crossover. Blade's
in
mainly
honesty,
in Spider-Man, and
In the decades and decades that
Yeah.
comics have been going on, everybody crosses over with everybody.
yeah, Blade's been in
So-
most of the sort of Spider-Man and closely linked sort of Defenders stuff in some form or other.
Anyway, yeah.
And to be honest, like I watched 5 episodes of Iron Fist Series 2,
Okay.
and it's really good.
I've heard some positive reviews and some negative reviews. Do you want to talk about it in another show? Like our review? Should we do a review show today as well, shall we?
You do some review bits at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think,
Why don't we just ramble and then put it out as one podcast?
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
we've already
yeah.
reviewed things.
All right. Ramble away.
Just
How's Iron Man?
reviewed everything.
Well,
Iron
yeah,
Fist 2,
as I think-
Adam?
I think it's a sign. Iron Fist Series 2 is a clear sign that Marvel and the guys behind the Netflix shows are listening to the fans. His fighting ability and choreography is a hell of a lot better.
And it's only, 8 episodes or 10 episodes?
Something like that, yeah.
I've lost my microphone. It's 10 episodes, is it?
Something like that, yeah. I haven't looked yet. I'm just, like I say, 5 episodes in. Story's really good. It's taking some of my favourite bits from the comics, but the more modern Iron Fist comics, which are amazing. And if the changes they've made to it, the style, the music, the choreography, the storyline, and all the boring stuff that was in the first series is not there. They've had meetings, but the meetings have not been in boardrooms, and it's meetings of people as characters who need to be meeting each other. So it's like
you'd have wanted to shoot yourself
having
wouldn't
a
you?
dinner
writing the
or-
script for that first season. Like, oh, this is going on for so long.
I loved certain
Bit
aspects
boring.
of the first series. It was just the boardroom meetings that got on my tits.
And the choreography.
choreography wasn't great, but yeah. But this series is a lot
That's because
better.
they gave him like 2 minutes before each scene to learn his
Yeah.
fighting bits.
Yeah.
That's it, literally.
This one you can tell he's had training, and there you can tell the stunt doubles in certain bits, but not like you
Right.
can tell like it's obvious, as in like the fighting is very good.
I've heard it said that the pacing is still pretty bad though in places.
I haven't felt that so far,
Right.
but like I say, if this
I
is
see-
changing because of what fans have said and they're listening, and then they're going to do Blade as a TV series and a film, and maybe link him to the Marvel Universe films as well as the TV shows, maybe this is where we start to see the step forward in doing
Well,
it
the
the right
Netflix
way.
guys are desperately trying to link in
Yeah.
the main universe, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, the Manhattan thing, I mean,
Yeah,
the New York thing definitely happened in this universe.
Yeah, they mention
Please
it.
talk to
yeah.
us, Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see it cross over a bit more. You know, even if it's just like they come in to one of the Avengers films in a big battle and you've got Daredevil and Jessica Jones and that there during a conversation, or you've got Iron Fist smashing a door open for someone else.
Two ways of looking at this, I think. Like at the moment, we've been under the guides of Kevin Feige, and he's done a very good job of just keeping it all pretty, focused and fairly, I'm going to say linear, but he's seen his line, he's seen his goal and his target, and he's reached it now. And
Yeah.
we're about to lose him.
Yeah.
All it takes is for somebody to come along and go, right, let's just fold it all into each other, and it's a huge train wreck.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think even when he leaves, he will stay.
He'll still sit
as
around in the background.
Yeah,
as a-
he'll consult and
Yeah.
and agree and disagree with things, and a lot of people will stick by his say so. So I don't think that's going to change massively. Unlike the opposing, which is DC
Yep.
and their movie universe.
We'll come back to them.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. However, let's have some fun ones.
Go on.
The Universal Dark Universe from Universal.
I don't see that going anywhere.
Do you think that's it? It's dead in
Yeah,
the water?
they did The
completely
Mummy.
gone?
There's been no talk of any other films in months and months and months because The Mummy flopped so badly.
Yeah. Well, it didn't do as badly as some other films that have still continued in their franchises. However,
Yeah.
but, yeah. I mean, it would be Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein would be the third movie in the franchise. So, yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I like the idea. It's a shame that it's gone.
I don't care.
No?
I've never really cared for any of this. Like Paul Brown, he likes Hammer horror movies, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I certain ones I'm okay with, like the idea of those films being done as like one film kind of got me interested, and then instead they did a series. So like if they'd have just done a film straight out and called it Universal Monsters, and it was just a hammy like
Monster Squad,
yeah, just
chuck
like,
them all in there.
have it so it's like World War II, and they sort of take the piss out of all the other films we've had, like Captain America and Wonder Woman, and have Frankenstein, Dracula, and a load of others battling Nazis or something.
Give them all superhero powers.
Or, yeah, just give them powers. That would have
Put
been
suits
funny.
on 'em.
You know, I'd have gone for that. But they've gone the other direction of making it too serious and going, oh, it's got Tom Cruise in it, so I was out.
That is actually the biggest mistake you can make if you want to keep control of your movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't introduce Tom Cruise.
No.
Unless you're Mission Impossible. And
Unless you want to have any
fine,
control of anything, like, just don't have him involved. Like, look at Mission Impossible. Like, even that's just chaos.
Although I want to see the new one. It sounds as if it's bloody amazing, and I think these are going to keep being very good films. Continue to be very good films, I should say. Ross, you like Mission Impossible, don't you?
Yeah, I wish I had gone to the cinema to watch the new film.
You've not seen it?
No.
Apparently it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It's like the best
that.
action film, of this year, easily. And, certain bits of it
Just
that
came
are...
out at the wrong time of year.
Well, it was just in the middle of everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm just really busy. Like August is like a bad month to go. Oh,
For you
shall I go to
personally,
cinema tonight?
it was a busy year for cinema anyway. Busy summer,
yeah.
a lot of stuff going on. But some of the photography in that film looks immense, and I've seen some interviews and stuff with what do you call it? Making of documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, where they like the jumping out the plane. They actually just filmed that. They just kept jumping out of the plane.
They filmed it 100 times.
Mental.
Literally did 100 parachute jumps to get that shot.
Oh, I'd love to do 100 parachute jumps.
Ridiculous. But it does look good. So you've got the cameraman going out first, and then Tom Cruise following immediately afterwards, and him keeping that perfect shot of Tom Cruise's face, like through the skydive, and then him interacting with other people and stuff, and looks bonkers.
Yeah, I've never been into the Mission Impossible films. I always thought it was a better idea as a TV show.
I think, personally, the knowledge of the effort that goes into the stunts and things make them more watchable for me.
The other thing is,
but you could say that about Jackie Chan, but people don't give him the credit where he's due in Hollywood and in British films. A lot of people I know over here are just like, oh, he's too funny, and it's like, well, you haven't watched you haven't watched the right Jackie Chan films then, the ones where he properly he's serious and goes all out. Yeah, not the semi-comical stuff, but like the proper stuff that he's done, and you go like. And Tom Cruise with the Mission Impossibles. I understand the effort, but
Foreigner's very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, Foreigner's very good.
If you thought the first two Mission Impossible movies fucked with the way Mission Impossible TV show worked with like a team and that, the new ones come back full circle and actually.
It wasn't even that bothered me. I just like the idea of it being a weekly TV show. Like for a certain bit of time, and then rather than just a film every so often that's full of Tom Cruise.
Some missions are so impossible that they have to be done over 2.5 hours and not just 45 minutes. So.
Yeah, but make it 2 episodes then.
Well, yeah,
two-parter. Then there's excitement in the middle.
Will this franchise continue to be strong? That's what I want to know.
What Mission
do you reckon?
Impossible?
Yeah, I think it will personally.
I think it'll keep going. Yeah, it's pretty much the American Bond now, isn't it?
Yeah, and James Bond's failing, isn't it? Danny Boyle left. Did you hear?
But that was I would have bet money on that.
Yeah, I don't understand how that was announced. I just never assumed that he would actually agree to it.
Well, it's like Edgar Wright and Ant-Man. That was never going to happen.
No.
Thing is, with Danny Boyle, he only left because he wasn't allowed to work with his favourite writer dude. Who's that bloke that he works with? He wrote
Alex Garland.
That's the one. So he wasn't allowed to team up with him. So he said, "Nah, you know what? Then I don't need this. See you later. Bye."
We mentioned it the other day, and Anna turned around and went, "Shut up! Danny Boyle's never going to be James Bond anyway."
Love it.
Talking to Danny Boyle, watched 28 Days Later the other day.
It's very good, isn't it?
That's
still a good film,
right? One thing I've never noticed before, because I love it so much, and then Anna pointed out, she's like, the little girl can't act for shit. And I'm like, no, she can't. Her accent's awful. I did a little bit of reading. She's trying to be from London, but she's actually from Liverpool.
Okay,
so
not noticed that.
She sounded like she's...
having a stroke?
Polish.
All right.
I'll have to go back and have a look.
And also, it looks like garbage.
Does it?
Yeah, I think they shot it on, like, quite low quality digital cameras.
It was digital, wasn't it? It was really low budget.
And this was like a 17 gig Blu-ray rip, and it looked like it was filmed at the back of cinema.
That's the trouble if you make your movies, watch it on too big a screen or whatever, isn't it now? Which is the curse of the up and coming 4K revolution, isn't it? Well, it's already here, I suppose, but yeah.
No, I have this thing now where films, it's a couple we've watched recently, if they're shot digitally, they just look like television.
Yeah, I don't like that. The soap opera effect.
Yeah.
The orange tint.
Yeah, no, what did we put on last... Oh, yeah, we couldn't pick a film last night, so Anna put Jigsaw on.
Jigsaw? Really, the new...
Yeah.
What's it called?
It looks like a TV movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because of the way it's shot.
Okay, it just looks too clean and crisp.
Right, but then your special effects look bad, don't they?
I suppose you can see,
you can see the
wires and stuff.
Yeah. And we managed about.
But
2
that series has been going on for too long. They're obviously not putting the money into it anymore. They're being greedy and going, people still want these films, and keep making them, but just have a lower and lower budget.
They made a shit ton of money. That's why they
it's a horror film.
Reboot it.
Every horror film always makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
simple as that. The what's the Quiet Place? The sequel for that is got a green light and it's filming next year. Woohoo!
Yeah,
I watched the first one just a couple of weeks ago.
It's starting to be on things like Sky and stuff like that.
It's bloody amazing.
People keep coming up to me and going, "Have you seen Quiet Place? It's a very good film." And I'm like, "Yes, I went to cinema where it was incredible."
I tell you what, is another horror film that will haunt the crap out of you for days. Is Hereditary.
Not watching it.
Please
Anna
do.
keeps banging on about it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Which one's is this? The
it's
weird
it's
shit
a
happens
family
in a house.
about. It's a film about family history and how families inherit their demons from their parents and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I won't be watching that one.
It is. I mean, it was freaking me out in the daytime. That's how. Like, I was the next day walking around the house, like closing doors behind me and stuff, like going, "Oh,
yeah, I
need
won't,
to
I
keep
won't
that
be
door
watching
closed."
that at all. No.
And it was freaky, but I loved it. It's very, very good. There are HD versions of that available online as well.
Go on,
Anyway,
then.
right, Alien, and the Alien franchise.
Done.
What's going on with that?
It's done.
You reckon that's dead in the water as well?
Yeah. I think he's ruined it.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, Twatface Scott, isn't it?
I was going to say Cloverfield then, but Cloverfield's actually good in comparison.
We can talk about that as well.
No,
I'm
I
going to
think
make Gladiator 2 next.
I just think he's got greedy with his toys and it's ruining it. So I'm just not interested.
It's a real shame.
But then you could say the same about Predators. Like Shane Black's come back in.
Yep.
And he's had a sex offender working on the set who he's friends with. And what's her name? Olivia Munn made complaints to Fox about the fact that she found out he's a registered sex offender, like with underage girls. And like basically no one. She's been doing interviews on her own for the film now.
Ironic that he's working on a film called The Predator, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and
Predators.
Yeah,
I know. It's just
Predator now. Yeah,
I saw Predators.
Yeah,
for the first time ever.
It's all right, isn't it?
I hate it.
I enjoyed it. I quite enjoy that movie.
But
it's brilliantly bad.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's the director, isn't it? What's his name? It's Robert Rodriguez, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or at least he may have produced it. I don't know if he was the director, but yeah.
No wonder it felt like El Mariachi in space.
But that's the thing with those films. It's just going like, and then with all the bad press that's now come about in the last couple of days because of this scene they've taken out of this guy that the director's backing up because it's one of his friends, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to give him a second chance because he went to prison and he did his time and blah blah." It's like, yeah, but.
Still,
it's a very specific thing he did that's quite dark. Like, should you be putting him in a film?
Shane Black's like, of course he slept with underage girls. He worked in the movie industry in the 80s.
But
so,
yes.
Yeah, I just see that all starting to fall apart as well now. I just don't. I think this will be the last film we see.
I think
it's for a long time.
It's going to be put to bed again. Do you want to just shut that window? That bloody dog outside. Neighbour's dog. Screw you, neighbour's dog.
I think Predator and Alien could just go away for like 5 years and wait for someone
decent to come along and actually, or just let Neil Blomkamp do it.
Wait till everyone's too old to actually be in it, so we don't have to shoehorn people in.
Or ignore this whole let's do a sequel remake thingy and ignore the sequels that are already existing.
Yeah, just
because there's loads of rich stuff that you can use with the Alien franchise. For instance, like there's a great novel called Earth Hive where the aliens end up on Earth. They were going to use it as the basis for Alien 3, but they never did.
There's a comic of that as well.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's Dark Horse have done so many comic series of the Alien.
Tribes. I've got a really nice book called an illustrated version of Tribes. I'll show you that in
really
a bit.
Good.
Wow! I just realised what might happen.
Go on
Marvel Unlimited.
And also, sorry to interrupt, but Alien. What am I playing? What am I playing on PlayStation 4? Alien Isolation.
It's a good game.
Let's talk about that in a second. But yeah, carry on. What were you going to say?
Back to Marvel Unlimited.
Right.
So I don't know how it happens, but all of the Dark Horse Star Wars comics are on there.
Yeah. That's right. Because they
I know they own I thought that if you made something with somebody's IP, it would stay yours.
Okay. So no, they actually own the rights for all of the Star Wars stuff all the way back from like day one, right?
Yeah, so literally every Star Wars comic's on there.
So if you join Marvel Unlimited,
Yeah.
you can just read it all. Oh, this is
But-
why you're reading so many comics.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
But the other thing we've just realised with that is if Disney buy 20th Century Fox,
Yep.
then maybe that will happen with all the Dark Horse Alien comics.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Last
Yeah.
thing I'll say about Marvel Unlimited, it's fucking brilliant. £9 a month.
Okay.
I can't. I said to you I'm going to get it and give it a go for a couple of months, even if I spend.
That was a
20,
while
30
ago, wasn't
quid. I will probably read. I feel like I'm reading I'm reading £8 or £9 worth of comics every month,
Right.
easy, because I'm reading Star Wars, Darth Vader, and Dr. Aphra as soon as they come out, which is 6 months behind when they come out in the shop.
Okay.
So there's £6 worth of comics there. If I bought them digitally, they'd be £2 each, wouldn't they?
Yeah, true. So your quid's in. So
And
what
then
you're
I
saying?
found-
Is that literally £9 a month for anything on there?
Yeah.
And that's their whole back catalogue.
It's pretty much everything on there, and then new releases are 6 months behind.
That's pretty
And
good.
can you read issues of comics as if they were released from the newsagents, or is everything collected in graphic novels?
It's single issues,
Single issues.
but then listen to this. So they do this thing called reading lists.
Ah,
So you go on there.
so
and
it
you go-
novelises it for you.
No, well, yeah, sort of. You go on there, and like at the moment, I'm reading the Clone Saga.
Right.
So it's literally every Spider-Man comic for like 18 months,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the order
that they needed to
So,
be in.
So what did I read? Where it kept flipping between comics. Was it Infinity Gauntlet?
Infinity Gauntlet did back in the day, yeah, because they didn't do separate issues. It jumped between different comics like the Avengers.
Oh yeah,
and
it did. But
Spider-Man and
Infinity
stuff.
Gauntlet had like 5 in that. There was like 5 issues of just Infinity Gauntlet in that reading list.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I was reading it across comics.
Yeah, because it jumps backwards and forwards and tells other bits of the story in between the main ones. Yeah.
So you just like and then I just googled what are the best Marvel events to read, and it's given me a list, and I'll just choose through them.
I'm very tempted. I tried reading...
Like
well-
Civil War's like a year's worth of comics, but across their whole library.
yeah, I can tell
So
you
it's
for
like
a fact.
100 issues or something. Isn't it?
People listening can't see what I'm doing with my hand, but Civil War, all the comics
It's about
involved
a
are a
metre
pile
high.
that high. Yeah, I own it all, and it's beautiful, and they're amazing comics. So if you haven't got the money to buy them at the height of a stack of comics that they are, then yeah, £9 to read them over a month. You probably
Yeah,
need
it's
a lot more than a
nuts.
month, but it would be worth
I
it.
tried reading a dodgy downloaded copy of World War Hulk just recently,
Right.
and the issue numbers are out, so I'm jumping around from comic to comic and not really, and the story's jumping around all over the place, and it's just killing me. So yeah, I'm trying to work out what the hell's going on.
I've got all of that as well if you want to borrow it.
Fair
So,
enough.
There you go.
But I might just sign up for this Marvel Unlimited
Yeah,
jobby.
£9 a month's not bad.
It's all right, isn't it?
I only spend £5 on comics a month now, but that's because it's Judge
Well,
Dredd.
Chris, you can pay for Marvel Unlimited by not paying for our podcasts.
Yeah, true. Hey.
Sorted. Now we're doing
This
a
is
monthly podcast called "What Have You Read on Marvel Unlimited?"
Alien Isolation, though. Let's talk about that ever so quick.
It's a good game, isn't it?
Bloody good game.
I never
really
finished
enjoying
it,
it.
but I did enjoy
It's-
the.
you were right,
5
Adam.
hours I played.
It's pretty tough,
Yeah.
and it's tense, man. Really
Yeah.
tense. And
I haven't jumped that much since Alien Trilogy on the PS1
okay,
in a game.
right.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Imagine playing that shit in VR.
Cool, no.
Yeah,
No,
love
thank
it.
you.
I don't think I'd do it.
But
No.
there's loads of they catch you out with some like tense moments when you're just trying to avoid there are androids on board called the Working Joe, and they're like they're in groups and there's loads of them around, and they're all out to get you because they don't want you to get out and tell the world about what Whale and Utani are up to. So the Working Joes are gonna kill you, but you can stealthily hide from them, and you're hiding from them behind a box and stuff, and you don't notice the alien drool dripping down from the vent in the ceiling, and you're like, bang, this alien jumps out and grabs you, and it's fuck.
I had the one where I just
brilliant.
got the spikes
Yeah.
from behind.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
no idea it was there.
Yeah,
The only negative thing, like everything about that game I really enjoyed, the only negative thing I have to say is the later part of the game gets very mundane of going backwards and forwards from one place to another to do stuff, and it becomes a repetitive cycle of the same activities to get to the end. But the scare and the build and the storyline are just enough, even in that later bit, to keep it from becoming a bad game at the end because of the mundaneness.
Almost every review of it has said it's twice as long as it needs to be.
Yeah,
right, okay.
Like, easily.
It's even PC Gamer, who absolutely gushed over and gave it over 90%, said it would be a better game with less game.
Right.
Yeah, just take 2 hours off the storyline.
I have found myself having a bit of fun every now and then. If I'm getting a bit bored and I can't really work out what to do, like today I was like hiding in a cupboard and then jumping out and smacking some bits of like desk and stuff with my wrench and making loads of noise till the alien turned up, and then hiding back in the cupboard again.
Why aren't you playing Spider-Man?
Watching him crawl backwards and forwards in front of me because I haven't bought it yet.
It's fucking amazing.
Because Alien was like under £10 in the store this month, so.
And there was about 85 games on PlayStation Plus this month.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
and I still bought one. That's why they give you these free games on PlayStation Plus, isn't it? To drive you to the store.
Still never buy anything. I just go and buy it in hard copy for like £2.
PlayStation Plus this month is excellent, isn't it? Really good. So you've got Destiny 2, you've got a couple of like family party game jobbies.
Right.
Knowledge Power is good because I always win.
Okay. You have to use your tablet or your phone for it or something,
yeah,
as a controller.
It's have you played what's the game where you use your have you played Jackbox TV?
No.
Yeah, they're really good. They're funny games that you play where you use your phone to control the game.
There's another one as well they released around Christmas time, or gave away around Christmas time.
Knowledge, yeah, that's back on the store, isn't it? It's the one about knowing each other.
Yeah. Draw pictures and stuff, and make faces and stuff for each other, and see who matches up and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that waffle.
Yeah, Spider-Man's really good, Chris.
Is it? You started it, have you?
Yeah, I've only played it probably. I've just got to fight Fisk's goons on the roof for the first time.
Okay, is that it's not very far into it then? No,
upgrading my suit for the first time.
Okay.
Right, so I'm probably about. Realistically, I'm probably only 5 minutes ahead of you, but game time wise, I've actually probably played about.
I've just been swinging around.
2 hours. 2 hours of swinging around myself.
Learn it. So the controls are so. It's so simple, and yet so intricate.
Right.
Like the moveset just grows quicker than you can learn things.
Okay.
So you're always kind of going back and learning more and looking at what you've got.
I've heard people say it's really just fun just swinging around the city. Just cruising about, getting used to your web slinging.
If you end up on the ground, you've normally done something wrong.
Right, I see.
Because you can literally just hold R2 down and run up a building.
You don't
even have to Spider-Man up a building.
Have you come across any mini games involving pigeons by any chance?
No, it's like Grand Theft Auto 4.
You what?
That's got pigeon mini game, isn't it?
Has it?
You have to shoot all 100 pigeons.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I think this is something to do with catching pigeons, but
right.
I heard it on another podcast earlier. But doesn't matter.
No, it's really good. I've got 3 suits unlocked in it now, but I'm literally like I haven't done any other missions than the point you're at, Ross. I've literally just swung around since then and done a couple of crimes, and I've ended up with the right amount of stuff to unlock a couple of other suits.
I don't like the new suit.
Do you not?
The suit he starts the game with is nicer than the white spider suit.
I don't know. I quite like it.
But I want the Ben Reilly one.
Yeah, I've got that. It's quite nice. Like they've got a lot. They've put a lot of work in. Like I was saying to Ross before the show, there is moments where I kind of go. I feel like I've bought a PS4 and bought a game and spent all that money, and I've just basically rebought a PS2 with Spider-Man 2 on it.
Okay.
It's exactly the same, but just
your
better graphics.
Brain telling you that, because if you plug in your PS2 and play Spider-Man 2, you'd be like, "This game's shit."
No, it's not. I played it about
10 frames a second.
Yeah, but I played it about 3 weeks ago, and although it is an old-looking game, it's still an amazingly easy game to play.
And the fighting's got to be much better in this.
It's very similar.
Incredible.
It's very similar.
Like Batman.
How much does it remind you of Arkham? Is it?
It's very.
It's got that timing thing, but I wouldn't have said it's as similar. I feel like I've got a lot more control over what I'm doing with Spider-Man than I ever did with Batman and Arkham Asylum.
Really? Do you agree,
Yeah,
Ross?
there's more. I think the combat's richer in Spider-Man.
There's a lot more differences.
There's a lot more
in the
movement to it,
presses.
though,
Because a lot of Batman
Yeah.
is going up high and then hiding, whereas Spider-Man, you just go up high just to get your bearings and you go straight back in the fight.
Right.
And when you're doing the fighting in Batman, it's just a rhythmic thing of 3 buttons, whereas in Spider-Man you're using a mixture of about 6 different buttons.
There's some mixtures of buttons and stuff in Batman as well.
Yeah, but not to the same level like this. That's what I mean. It feels like Batman only had a mix of like 4 or 5 buttons, whereas this, you feel like you're doing combinations of buttons, taps, holds, different things with the controller. You're not just doing tap, tap, hold, tap, tap, hold, tap, 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 hold, like you did with Batman. With this, there's all sorts.
Depends how you play Batman, I
think
suppose.
The main difference
I was a combo person, so it's long battles.
The main difference is there's people armed with guns always in the combat arena from the very get-go.
Right, okay.
So you have to use you basically, to crowd control the gun guys, you stay in combat but you use your webs.
Right.
So you can zip over to somebody, or you can just wrap them up, or you can pull their weapon out of their hand, or you can pick them up and spin them around. There's lots. Like, the point is, you go down, start fighting, and then as soon as you start getting shot at, that's when you focus on taking down the guy.
It almost makes you focus on the right people to take out first because of the way it's designed. Whereas Batman, I've never felt you needed to, but yeah.
And it's all about the swinging.
Yeah,
So
fair
much
enough.
fun.
So, out of 10, thus far?
Yeah.
So far, it's like a 9. For
Yeah,
me.
same here.
The
point I'm at is a 9.
It's definitely up there with game. It's definitely a contender for Game of the Year so far.
Okay.
And what I was saying about it feeling like the PS2 and Spider-Man 2 isn't a negative thing. It's like, it's just weird because it's like I'm 2 consoles further on and I've got another game that's basically the same game that I loved on a previous version of the same make of console.
Got you.
So it's just, it's amazing. And I'm one of those people that I'm kind of annoyed with the amount of games that are just the same game being brought out every year on every console.
Yeah,
Whereas this, obviously, it is a different company, it's a different way of doing it, and it's easily 9.
That's one thing I'll say about Alien Isolation, actually, is it feels like a lot of games that I've played before. Like, it feels a lot like Bioshock. It acts a lot like Bioshock. So it's kind of like a mixture between that and... Go on.
Do you know the crazy thing about Alien Isolation?
What?
The developer.
Who is it?
Creative Assembly, yeah. Do you know what games they make?
No, go on.
The Total War series.
Yeah.
Right.
They couldn't be anything further away from Alien Isolation.
So that's like a top-down turn-based jobby, is it? Total War? Is that the one?
It's a real-time... It's a cross between Civilization. Like, it's got a map.
Like Dune sort of thing.
But then you go down to fighting, but it's random
realistic.
Flank, so you have your archers and you stretch them out, and then you go, fire the catapults. It's
proper
like
historians love it.
Okay.
How
bizarre.
A game show.
But then that's the same as the
Spider-Man
Spider-Man game. That's been made by Insomniac. And you go back far enough before they started doing their previous lot of games, and they were doing stuff that was totally different to open world, and then they suddenly changed all of a sudden, started doing open world, and that's led them to where
what
they
have
are.
Insomniac done recently then?
They did
It's Sunset Overdrive's the game that...
Infamous, didn't
No,
they?
they didn't.
Did they not do Infamous?
Sucker Punch did Infamous.
This
is what would have made sense. Was if we'd have come out and Spider-Man had been announced by Infamous developers, we'd have gone,
oh no, Infamous
is
doing... No, the guys that did Infamous did... Ghosts of Tsushima.
No, Sucker Punch are doing... Oh yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing Ghosts
and
of
it's
Tsushima.
the guys that did... Who's doing the zombie one?
Can't remember.
That's not
Days End or whatever it's called.
Yeah, basically all these different people, all these different
Gone.
companies are changing and going from doing one thing to something totally different and actually doing it well. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, but the Sony first-party studios have got some of the best talent, haven't they? But God of War, it's like, that's the thing. Like, Spider-Man would be contender for Game of the Year this year, but it's happening to come out the same year as God of War and Red Dead Redemption
I think Spider-Man's
2.
better than God of War. I really didn't get on with it.
How much gameplay is there in God of War?
Loads.
more than 20 hours?
You could probably stretch it to 20 hours to platinum it easy.
Because it's 15 to 20 hours for Spider-Man, apparently. So
yeah, well, I did a good 12 hours of God of War and then traded it in for 4 other games because it was just boring. Didn't get on with it.
That's a PlayStation. That's one of the PlayStation games this month on PlayStation Plus, isn't it? God of War 3, is it?
Yeah, no, we're talking
the
about
previous
a new
one. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the old ones are awful.
It's the fighting system not very similar. The combat system.
It's
Proper
not
hack
similar.
and slash. The old
Much.
ones.
Right. So these ones aren't hack and slash. Not really.
No. Have you played God of War 3 though?
No.
It's good. Play it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go because I've got it in my library for well, not for free, but
Yeah.
at no extra cost. Anyway.
DC.
Is that enough? Is that enough Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Let's talk about other quick ones before DC.
Okay.
We could have done X-Men in the Marvel one. Let's just pretend that's ruined anyway.
Yeah, well, it is. It's been ruined since the halfway through the first film.
Well, hang on. X-Men's just going to get... At some point, Marvel will reboot X-Men, won't
Yeah, it'll just get folded into the main universe.
Folded into
very,
the
very soon.
timeline.
Yeah.
Well, if they even do that, they may just reboot it and do their own thing and keep it separate because it's too complicated to reintroduce.
Do you think they'll reintroduce a new Wolverine or just go with a completely different roster of characters?
I think they'll bring Wolverine into the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then they'll keep the rest of the X-Men as a separate entity.
Okay.
But just made by Disney. Because we still don't know if they've actually bought Fox yet. Nothing's been.
Well, it's going through.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be done by the middle of the summer.
Also,
Next
another
summer.
thing I've learned from Marvel...
earlier actually.
is
Sorry.
why do people bitch and moan about them changing costumes for movies? Because most of them look fucking stupid.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Iron
Really
Fist,
bad.
His collar's from 1973.
Scarlet Witch.
Poke somebody's eye out.
Looks
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Captain America, he's got tiny little wings on his head. He looks like a massive knobhead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. I just read the first comic of them coming back into the Marvel comic universe.
Yes, of course. They started releasing comics again.
And
Yeah.
I cried about
Yeah?
3 times like a little bitch.
Were you masturbating at the time as well?
No.
That's called a crank.
No, it wasn't anything that joyful. No, I just read it, and it's basically just Human Torch and Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm
And-
wants to be not made of rubber.
No, he doesn't care about that. He got over that long ago when he found himself a blind girlfriend.
Well, yeah, that's the way forward, isn't it?
So yeah, no, it's really, really well done.
It worked for that guy in that Mask movie as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
What's his name?
yeah.
You remember the one? The one with
Yeah.
sharing it.
Yeah, do you know who that is who's playing him? The guy who...
Yeah,
what's
I
his
do.
face?
It's the guy that was Marty McFly originally, isn't it?
Yep, who ended up being the heroin dealer in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Eric Stoltz.
That's the one.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
A little mask man.
Speaking of masks, Halloween. Where's that going to go?
It's what I can't even remember what the last one was.
The more recent one, I think, is so it's doing the Shane Black, not the Shane Black thing. The damn it, who's the guy that directed Chappie? We just spoke about him.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, it's doing the Blomkamp thing. So it's a
Oh, okay.
sequel to number 2,
Right.
erasing everything from there on.
Okay, because the last lot they rebooted it with Rob Zombie, didn't they? At one point, he rebooted it, and
he did a remake of the first one.
I don't understand. Yeah, but he did a couple, didn't he? Or did he only do the
I
one?
think he just did the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm mixing his other films
Which
together.
gets mixed reviews. Rob Zombie fans tend to like it. Halloween fans tend to hate it.
Right.
So go and watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like it, then you should watch some more Rob Zombie movies.
No.
You don't like them?
No.
Probably don't watch it then.
They're just sort of trashy, like heavy metal gore porn.
Yeah.
Basically, there's just no real decent
I
storyline.
did like
in
The
them.
Devil's Rejects, but I was quite
That's
young
the
at the
only
time.
one I've seen, I think.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're a teenager, that film's like what you want. It's got gore, it's got sort of the heavy metal sexiness to it, like, but it's not actually a very like clever film in
Fair.
any way. You know, you watch it now and you'd be like, oh yeah, I don't see why I enjoyed that.
Do we think that this movie will kick off a new love for the franchise, though, or do you think it's enough to just do this one and then just let it lie?
I don't know why they're doing this one.
No,
I love Neil Blomkamp stuff, but I don't see why.
it's not Neil Blomkamp, but it's yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah.
okay.
It's doing that thing that
yeah.
he somehow invented, where you do a sequel and then that erases all the existing sequels.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up.
And everyone went, "Oh, that's a really good idea. We should do that with this franchise and that one and that one and that one." Predator, RoboCop,
Star Wars. Do you know?
Star
do you
Wars?
know what I really wish they would do? And I don't really care, but at the same time, I do care.
remake A New Hope.
No, just
Spend that tasty amount of money that they've just made on the remake.
oh no, they
Last
could
Jedi.
remake the prequels, yeah, and retell that story.
Apparently, the pledges
And
for
retcon
that
it.
remake fund are up to like 500 million now.
But I would happily watch. I would happily watch a new episode 8 where they didn't just burn it all to the ground.
Yep, fair enough. I agree.
Have you watched
But-
Mr. Plinkett's review of Mr.
No.
Plinkett does a really good reviews on the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Go on.
He's just done a Last Jedi one, and I watched it, and it made me angry about Last Jedi.
Did it?
Yeah,
Did it change your opinion of it?
yeah, it's quite a good film, but it makes me go, yeah, why fuck up Star Wars?
Yeah, but then have you watched the movie Bob essay that he did about the Last Jedi? Because he's
No.
got a similar. Both of them say kind of similar things in a different way. Like movie Bob's thing, he's basically going, "This is a metaphor for how ridiculously over the top fans are about Star Wars, and how actually none of the stuff that everyone seems to think matters, and actually like anyone can be a fucking Jedi." And like,
yeah, I get that.
yeah,
and
but
I
that's
accept,
the other side of it.
I
And
know,
it's
I
like,
get that, and I accept it when Hideo Kojima does it with Metal Gear Solid all the time.
yeah, but like,
But which I love.
yeah,
But I think Star Wars probably is too personal for me to not take it quite the same
yeah.
way.
Maybe I don't feel as. I thought I was a massive Star Wars fan, but maybe I'm just not as. It's not as ingrained in me as other people, because I don't see a problem with it. I think it's good that they're getting rid of the whole Skywalker saga.
I think Star
Fed up
Wars
with it.
does very, very well when people play it safe and you stay within the boundaries of the things that people love. And J.J. Abrams did a really great, as far as a lot of Star Wars fans are concerned, a really great job of Episode 7, because he just filled
Yeah,
it full
but-
of fan service.
but
It was
then most
literally
of
all
the-
the imagery you wanted, all
But most
all
of the
the feels
hardcore
that you
Star
wanted.
Wars fans that I'm friends with disliked Force Awakens as well.
I don't like Force Awakens.
They
I
thought
prefer
it
The
was
Last Jedi.
Awful, yeah.
By a
they
long,
they
by a
dislike
lot,
both,
actually.
though, most
But,
of the hardcore fans.
that's
It's like you
because-
can't please them.
It's really because The Last Jedi challenges you to accept some changes. And that's good. That's always a good thing. I like that. Push the boundaries, split it apart, put it back together again. You know, even if it's right in the middle of a story arc. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but
People lose their minds
also-
when you do it.
I think the problem is Star Wars fans feel entitled now because they've got a voice on the internet. They feel entitled to say that
Everybody feels entitled.
it's not
Not just Star
allowed.
Wars fans, but they are the worst. these
Yeah, no,
days,
but
aren't
no,
they?
no.
Because
I
there's
know-
quite a lot of them. They sound
Yeah.
like a louder voice, don't they?
I know there's a lot of there's fans of all sorts that feel entitled, and even I get like a bit about stuff sometimes. But like,
Ghostbusters.
there seems to be. Oh, no, because that wasn't me going, no, how dare you use all women? That doesn't bother me. It's just the fact that it
It's
was
just
a
a terrible
badly
movie,
made
isn't
film,
it?
yeah. Like, whereas Star Wars, they're both good, well-made films, like, but there seems to be a lot of Star Wars fans that are just like, this isn't what I wanted. And it's like, yeah, but it's not for you. It's for a younger generation to enjoy Star Wars for the first time.
Yep.
Sod
true.
off if you don't like it.
But
Go
it's
and watch
like
something
the,
else.
The stories as well, like not just the 7 and 8. I didn't really need either of them.
No. But, you know.
Like, no, they keep telling stories that nobody wants to hear.
What, with Episode 7 and 8?
No, like Rogue One and Solo.
Oh, okay.
Like, nobody
I loved
asked for that, did they?
But Rogue One was great. I loved it.
I like Rogue One.
Yeah, watch it again. It's not very good.
No, I love it. It's the Vietnam.
The CGI...
Fuck off, Vietnam. nothing.
No. If the Star Wars style universe, it's a small battle in one
No, it's
location
not. The whole
across
Rebel Alliance
beaches.
turn off at the end.
Yeah. But it's
like
still a small
it
battle.
makes the battle against the Death Star feel like the pudding after the main.
Yeah, no, but I mean, out of the modern films and since the prequels have been made, everything's been much bigger. So, like, that was the first time since the original films we've had something a bit smaller.
And it's a bit different as well. You
Yeah,
got like
yeah.
little fringe characters
it's not
and stuff, and
happy
it's not
ending.
about Jedis. It's about, you know, the struggle of humanity in space.
It's different. It's
In
I
a
like
galaxy
it.
far,
I've got
far
a lot
away.
of time for that film.
Yeah, I like it. It's just the CGI characters that piss me off. They look awful.
That didn't
The
even bother me.
retconning.
The what?
The retconning.
Is there a retcon in it?
Well, it's all retcon, isn't it? It's
Is
all
it?
like squeezing. Oh, let's get old Darth Vader and swirly swirl blades out.
That's a good bit.
Swirly
when he's
swirl
like,
blades.
Oh, I'm in my little back to tag, and then he makes a quip at Ben Mendelsohn's character.
But do you accept that the prequels exist?
Yeah.
Do you accept them as part of the storyline of Star Wars?
Yes.
Then there's no reason that Darth Vader wouldn't act the way he did in Rogue One. If only the original films existed, I'd understand. But
Why
the
can't-
prequels exist.
What's wrong with Darth Vader in Rogue One?
Apparently, people think he's too movement-orientated and too fast and too angry and aggressive. And it's
What?
like...
No, I've been reading the Darth
It's
Vader
just-
comics, mate.
Yeah.
He's just lost the plans to the Death Star. He's pissed
Yeah,
off.
exactly. It makes sense. I don't
Yeah.
know why people... Like, there's so many people out there going, he's not how Darth Vader should be. Sod off.
He bloody is.
It's exactly how I imagine Darth Vader would be. The reason he's not like that in A New Hope is because he's caught her. He doesn't need to be all angry and throwing people around anymore.
The
He can just
only
choke
thing
people
that
and...
pisses me off
you
about
know.
Darth Vader in that movie is the voice acting. What's the bloody
Yeah.
actor's name?
James Earl
James Earl Jones. Bloody delivery in that is.
Yeah, it's not as good
He doesn't
as it
have an
was.
American accent,
No.
and he makes a joke as well, doesn't he? At some
Yeah,
point.
that's bad script writing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Stupid that is. Anyway, Star Wars. So yeah, that's an interesting one. The TV show is the budget's been announced for the Jon Favreau produced TV
Oh,
show.
right.
So it's like 10 million per episode straight off the bat.
Wow.
Yeah, obviously Game of Thrones, for instance, when that was first released, it was like 10 million for a season. So for them to go straight in, it means that the entire season run is going to cost about 150
Here's a
million.
weird question.
10
for
million,
you.
10 million an episode is like double what they paid for episodes of Friends at the end.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and I suppose if you think about it, it's quite good value for money. 150 million. What does it cost to make them an actual Star Wars movie that's only 2.5, 3 hours long? 500 million.
Quite a lot
Here's a
more.
weird question for you. How do they get a discount with Industrial Light and Magic? No, do you get what I mean? Like when the studio goes, this movie's going to cost 200 million because we've got to get 150 million worth of special effects.
Yeah.
As they own the special effects company, do they just go, all we've got to do is pay 150 hours labour?
Well, yeah, they just pay the staff. They don't have to pay
Just on a day rate.
the company to do it, do they? Because they own the company.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's like musicians in Motown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get paid $6 a day. That's it, and off you go. The record might be a multi-million selling, gold, platinum, whatever disc, and
Well, look at the guy from
you
the
got your
Midlands.
$6 a day. What are you complaining about?
There's that guy from the Midlands who's like 5'2" and like short and chubby, and he's like one of the main singers on some of the biggest, most famous Motown records that everyone thinks are these other people. Actually, it's just this tiny guy from the Midlands, and he got paid by the hour.
Willy Winky, is that his name?
I can't remember his name.
Who
But,
cares?
Who cares?
This isn't a podcast
It's crazy.
about music, even though Motown's sick.
Do we think the TV show will be good? You're looking forward to it?
I am looking forward to it because it's Star Wars.
I don't know.
I
I'm
think
not
personally, the fact that they're re-releasing, they're releasing new Rebels and stuff, aren't they? So they're going to keep introducing new fandom, new generations of people following Star Wars, and it's just going to be rolling on forever. It's never going to change.
I'll like the new cartoon, and I'll probably like some and won't like all of the new films. The TV show, I'll either like it or I won't. I'm not excited.
Oh, I like the
though.
art style for the new TV show.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's like a cross between Studio Ghibli and cell shading, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like halfway between Rebels and Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And a lot of Star Wars fans are out there going, "This is disgusting. It looks terrible. How
Looks like
dare
Wind Waker,
they?"
mate.
And it's just like, oh god.
Looks like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Or Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
We mentioned Game of Thrones. That's a good one to talk about as well. Oh, actual fact, there's a few.
Well,
there.
we know what's happening with that,
There's,
don't we?
there's a few there, Adam, that you're gonna love. This is like the age of television for you.
Well, we know what's happening with Game of Thrones. They've got one more series, and then it's the end.
And then the prequel series.
4.7 billion prequels.
Yeah, but
It's just one now.
Yeah, they shit can a load of it, haven't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
They had 4 prequel shows that they were going to produce, but they've changed it, so it'll just be one, and it's set 2,000 years ago, and it's going to be, by the looks of it, the actual story of what's his name, Azor Ahai, the guy that defeated the White Walkers the first time around.
No idea, mate.
you watch Game of Thrones, don't you?
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that. I've read the books.
So
but it
Jon
falls out of my
Snow,
head.
it's the same thing as like Star Wars.
Background noise to you,
It's-
basically, is what you're saying.
It's like the story echoes. So there's the rise of the White Walkers, the rise of a hero, the defeat of the White Walkers. The hero is
So it's the same
created
show
in a certain
again?
way. But the actual story, because what we're getting in the current show is legend and mythology based on the stories of old. So they're going to tell what the stories of old really were.
Yeah, but if it's actually happening in this new series, the White Walkers are coming, the guy is rising as a hero, and then it's going to happen again in the prequel. You're basically watching the same show again.
But you're talking about legend and whether or not legend... It's like the difference between the Battle of Troy and what actually happened at the Battle of Troy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no,
Do you know
but-
what would work really well is if they had an unreliable narrator
Yeah,
talking over at the start.
yeah.
He was a bloody good lord. We all bow to him, and then it cuts to him just sat in Winterfell, just like getting his dick sucked, smoking weed,
Yep.
and shooting people with a bow and arrow all at the same time.
So it'd be the rise of the Stark family, I think, wouldn't it? Something to that. Anyway, but yeah.
Oh, no. It just
Anyhow.
sounds awful.
So that's happening, and you're also getting a Lord of the Rings TV show, Adam, because, you know, this is all for you, mate.
Yeah,
You love it.
yeah, obviously.
Which could go either way.
You can tell by my face.
Just fun.
Just for
fact,
you out there, listeners, it's not a pretty face. Anyway, we'll
talking
take
of
a
Lord of
photo,
the
but
Rings,
we don't want to break the camera.
and where it's going.
Lord of the Rings, go on.
Games Workshop have just re-upped their license for the board game they make.
Of course they have, because
But-
something big's about to happen, and they're going to make
But
a
they
shitload
also
of money.
have the license for the Tolkien universe and not just the movie universe now, so they can make their own. They can make their own
Characters. Ah, right, cool.
But I think they'll probably. I think the thing is always a thing with Lord of the Rings is they did such a good job, Weta, didn't they?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Peter Jackson. It's difficult to deviate from that, isn't it?
Yeah, true. But are they? They're not really going to be deviating from it, are they? So, like all the equipment and stuff that Weta made for the swords and
Movie.
shields and everything.
They're going to use
They've
them.
got access
yeah, that's
to it
what
all.
I mean. It's
So-
so difficult for you to reboot Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because it didn't
So
happen
what, are they actually
that long
rebooting
ago.
it? Or are they...
No, they're doing kind of, by the sounds of it, like an anthology series.
So, like stuff that you didn't see in the films about other characters?
yeah, prequels and stuff.
See, that's
and
more
stuff on the
that's
fringe.
more
and-
interesting
Yeah, so that is.
than the Game of Thrones thing of like we're mirroring it with Legend. Fuck
Yeah.
off. That means you're doing it again. That's what they did. That's what they tried to do with the prequels of Star Wars. You're mirroring it again. No,
the
just-
Not
difference
really,
is-
but
The person who wrote Lord of the Rings was a linguist historian.
Yeah, but what I mean is that
and
sounds
the other one's
good.
a railroad.
Well, yeah.
George Railroad Martin, who's emulating Tolkien, isn't he? That's what he's
Well,
doing.
he's just trying to do like Tolkien, but without less, not as highbrow. And,
Yeah.
And PG.
Although it's
But
pretty
no, but
complicated.
As
but, yeah.
as what I mean is like at least I'm not even into Lord of the Rings, but the Lord of the Rings one being different stories to the film and like not just telling the same story again but with different characters sounds far more interesting.
You reckon?
Yeah. I'd be far more interested in watching that than I would a Game of Thrones prequel that basically
Have you seen
is
the
same
movies?
thing.
The
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings movies. You
I
have.
fell
Okay.
asleep during the first one. I walked out
Don't
of my
blame me.
mate's house during the second one.
Don't
and
blame you.
The third
No,
one.
in actual fact, no. I think the second one's my favourite.
And the third one,
First one's the best
fell
one.
asleep like 3 times. Kept waking up and going, "Oh, this is still."
Don't
on
watch the
again."
Hobbit
So-
trilogy then.
No, I'm
That's
not.
terrible.
Don't really want to go
Really
anywhere
bad.
near it.
Except for the Ed Sheeran song. That's the best part of that film, I think.
I don't know if
Why are you
he's being
laughing?
serious or not.
I can't tell.
You'll never know. But yes, what were we talking about?
TV shows.
Wizards and stuff. Yeah, because what about The Witcher, Adam?
Oh yeah, I think he's announced as The Witcher, isn't he?
Henry
Oh, that's the
Cavill?
computer
What's his
game,
name?
innit?
I don't know who he is. Who's Henry Cavill?
When, other than Mortal Kombat, has a computer game ever been turned into a good film?
Because
Or TV
The
show.
Witcher is not a video game first.
Oh, is it not?
No, it's a book series.
Oh, I didn't
It's a
realise
series
that.
of books by
oh,
a Polish
okay.
chap.
Right, okay,
Which-
so that might actually work then.
That's why it's based on
Girls of Rivia.
Polish mythology,
Right.
and that's why there's no kind of there was a massive outcry a while ago that there's no people of colour in the Witcher games, and
Right.
the defence was, of course there aren't. It's Polish mythology. It's Poland.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
You're not going to get many people of colour in Poland
No.
back in the Middle Ages or whenever
No.
it's set, are you?
Very true. Well, we don't know, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get many these days because they're horrendously racist.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help.
But there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. I didn't realise it was books first. I thought it was just a computer game. So it could actually be really good then. I'm still not interested.
What do you think about Henry Cavill being... Have you played the games,
It'll be
Adam?
all right.
No.
You haven't? Okay,
No.
so you don't...
I've
know the
seen a
character,
mate
but
playing it, and
Okay.
not my cup of tea.
It's
You're not a high fantasy kind of guy, are you?
No, I don't like wizards and warlocks and
It's gonna be a
swords
lot-
and dragons.
What about
Yeah.
goblins?
Mm.
What about the Morlocks?
Scrot goblins, maybe, but not normal goblins, no.
It's going to be a lot like Game of Thrones. I think there's going to be a lot of violence, a lot of sex, and it's going to be, well, magic-based.
Yeah.
So, and creature-based, and, yeah, Game of Thrones with more beasties, basically,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
which I like
good.
the idea of. And it's been I think, greenlit for like 6 or 7 seasons.
Bloody hell, already.
Yeah. They're quite
Crazy.
confident with it. They're really going to go for
They're
it.
obviously good
So
books then, if they're that
They
confident
are
in it.
massively well
and obviously
regarded.
with a
yeah.
computer game as well, that means you're
You
going to
can listen to the audiobooks online for
Yeah.
free. They're on YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah. Go and have a listen if you want to try before you buy.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all on there to listen to. And I've only gotten, me with audiobooks, I listen to them at bedtime. So, yeah, unless it's short stories, I very rarely get through a complete audiobook. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to The Witcher.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be quite good. That.
And it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix produced thing. So, yeah. Speak-
Can we talk about Netflix quick?
we can.
Have you all seen Dark Tourism?
Yes.
It's fucking
Actually,
brilliant, isn't it?
it's very, very interesting.
He's a
Good
cheap,
show
he's
that,
a cheap
isn't it?
man's Louis Theroux.
It's, good, it's quite good though, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
So this is
I
a
just
guy...
like the fact one of the guys says to him, "You're like a cheap Louis Theroux."
It's like,
And he's like, "Well, yeah."
He clearly would take that as a compliment
Yeah.
because he's like the best. Louis Theroux's clearly the best at doing those sort of documentaries.
But that real dry delivery, it's the same sort of thing though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. But, so this is a
Japan's
guy...
fascinating, isn't it?
This is a guy, let's explain this a little bit, who goes around the world and he's filming a documentary of him going around the world visiting tourist attractions that shouldn't be tourist attractions. Like nuclear wastelands and...
Fukushima.
Yeah. And what other ones did I see?
Have you seen the one where he?
I think I've
goes
seen
to
like 2 episodes or something.
Right.
Go on.
Well, he does this. He goes to World War II reenactment thing.
Right.
In England. That's amazing. I'd do that.
Especially the 2 German guys that
Yeah.
come as Nazis.
The Dutch guys who just come as Nazis.
Oh, yeah,
because,
Dutch guys,
Because
sorry.
they're Dutch, they're pretty much allowed to.
Yeah, it's hilarious because they're really like no one says Nazis.
No.
That's the beautiful thing about it. No one will say it. It's like there's very, yeah. The whole series is great. Every place he goes to is really, really interesting.
Okay.
But where's that he goes to this place where you sign a waiver and this guy basically tortures
Oh, in
you.
America, yeah.
Wow.
Like the Macabre Manor or something.
Yeah, Michael's Macabre House of
And
something
he
or other.
literally,
Yeah.
he doesn't even get in the van, does he?
No.
Like, and he's everybody who thinks they're Billy Big Balls, like proper Type A personalities, are bored of like abseiling and like skydiving and
Right.
go and do it. And this one guy was like, "Yeah, I told my wife I've got to do this. Yeah, I'm cycling." And he was just like, 45 minutes. He's like, "I'm out."
But the thing is, the
Broken.
guy running it is
Absolutely
like
broken.
ex-military and a little bit insane. So he's obviously got torture training under his belt somewhere along the line.
And he likes it a bit too much,
and
probably.
he's very good at it, like very good. He knows what he's doing, and he's like, and every time someone says anything to him and questions him about it, he just smiles with this cheeky little laugh, like, "No, it's just a bit of fun." And inside his eyes, you can just see like twinkles of
I
like,
really
"I'm
like-
getting hard on this."
I really like waterboarding.
Yeah,
Oh, it's very good.
wish it was legal.
There's South Africa one's weird.
What happened there?
Because he goes on a tour of like I don't know what you'd call them, and they're in like South America. They're called favelas.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, not shantytown. What are they called? It is like shantytown.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Shantytown will do. Favela will do. People know what you're talking about. It's fun.
And obviously everybody's really nice.
Yep.
And like it's just a tourism thing now, where you go there and just hang out with like,
Cycle
It
through the
is.
middle of the streets that everyone said are really dangerous.
Right.
and they're just not.
Not.
Oh, really?
And then they go to this place where only white people live.
Okay.
And they're fucking horrible. Why are you here? 'Cause we're getting away from the Blicks.
Wow.
And then there's these like religious fundamentalists who plan for the day the Blicks are going to rise up and take us all away.
Really?
Yeah. Fucking horrible
Wow.
people.
But the weird thing about those people is, like, only one or two of them are genuinely horrible. The rest of them just seem really confused about what's going on in the world and terrified of the people around them because of stuff that's happened previously. Like, there's only a couple of them that actually seem nasty. Most of them are just like, well, yeah, the end's coming, and, you know, like, going by the scripture, you know, we're just a bit worried, so we've got all this stuff.
But it's going to be the Blicks.
You know, it's just weird.
It's definitely going to be the Blicks.
It's just very, very weird.
It's like
Yeah.
clearly.
I need to watch some more of it.
Yeah, it's good. Good series.
Did you watch Disenchanted yet?
It's rubbish.
I thought that to start with. And then
Oh, is it a grower, is
I've
it?
been leaving it on in the background while I've been doing some other stuff, and
So it's that good?
I've had some occasional laughs from it.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had
Brilliant.
nothing.
I would say that it's all right.
He's apologising
Damning
again.
with
It's something
faint
basically.
praise.
It's all right. It's
I had
not.
half an eye on it in the background.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's
Oh.
not.
Do you know
it's
what?
Nothing
Put
to
that-
write over. You're
we'll
not
put
going
that
to
on
put
the
it in your
poster,
top 10.
yeah, when it goes
I
to the
felt
cinema.
like that about Final Space when I've watched the first episode, because
Yeah.
the first episode of Final Space I watched just after finishing watching.
3 episodes in, it's still pretty toss.
No,
But
no, it's far superior to Disenchanted.
the end of it is amazing.
Yeah.
The end of Final Space is
Yeah,
fantastic.
it just
but-
takes a little while to get there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I kind of, because I'd only watched the first episode and I just finished watching Rick and Morty, I was like, this is rubbish. Actually, when you then get further in, you're like, actually, this is very good. Whereas Disenchanted, I got 4 episodes.
I've watched
and
almost the
then
entire season now.
I was just
well,
like,
I say
I'm
watched.
done. No, this is awful writing. This
Been aware of.
doesn't make sense.
Thing is, though,
Characters are bad.
this writing it's not bad. It's just a bit dated. You know what I mean?
No, it's bad
10 years
writing in
ago.
places.
10 years ago, it'd been really funny because
Maybe.
it's like it's Futurama humor. Like it's the same style.
Yeah.
It's everything you loved about The Simpsons originally, but you're just so bored and familiar with it now.
Yeah, but even old Futurama's still funny now when you watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
if you go back and look at some of the jokes in Disenchantment, there are some pretty funny little jokes in there, but
yeah.
there are some really terrible
I
ones that
don't
you've
know
grown
if I can
past and
give
stuff.
it
You know.
its time.
Anywho,
Got other things to do and watch.
it clearly divides a room. This show.
Yeah.
I've heard people rave about it, and I've heard people tell me it's wank. And yeah, I used to agree with the people that thought it was wank, and now I'm kind of middling.
See,
But-
I've only seen Rick and Morty once, so if I was going to dip into that sort of show, I probably would rewatch Rick and Morty
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
before even attempting.
Rick and Morty's
seen
just
it.
so much better. I'd rather rewatch that.
I
Than,
literally feel like I'm at the point where I can
Yeah.
start watching it again.
I've seen
Yeah,
every
yeah.
episode like 7 times or something. It's
Really?
ridiculous.
even
yeah,
I
especially
haven't
now
watched
it's
it
on
that
Netflix.
much, and I love it.
Always new, it's always sunny as well, isn't there?
If the missus
Yeah.
is going out on an evening out, like that's the first thing I do is I'll get fish and chips. I come home and sit down and put on an episode of Rick and Morty, and just whatever's on Netflix.
Have a
Just
big wank.
clink. Yeah, well, usually it's battered sausage actually, but
Gag. On
Uh,
the sausage.
Rick and Morty. That's a good one to talk about. The
Yeah.
future of Rick and Morty.
100 episodes.
Make
yes.
more of it. At
Well, it's gonna happen.
gunpoint.
They've said 100 episodes have been signed off that's happening. So
It's like
that's
4 seasons.
10 seasons.
So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they keep cruising and just leave loads of time in
The thing
between
is,
and don't
they've
rush
got,
it.
They've
and
got
stuff.
100
Right, won't it?
episodes. They got 100 episodes. They could do what I was saying a little while ago that I hope they do, which is now they can just go, okay, we'll put 5 out now.
Yeah.
Then we'll leave it a while. We'll put 3 out.
Yeah.
Then we'll leave it a while. We'll put 10 out. You know, just when they feel like it. They don't have
Don't
to.
do that. Be really structured about it.
No, sod it. It works.
Give me 10 a year in
What
one
about
chunk.
Bit of both.
No.
A season. A
Well,
Christmas
we're
special.
talking about TV.
Another season.
Yeah,
Can we talk
yeah.
about the most important thing that got cancelled recently?
Go on.
The Big Bang Theory.
Did it?
Did it?
Is
been
no
cancelled.
more. It's dead.
Damn it. It
What,
was on my
have
list
they-
as
have
well.
they
I left it in
finished
there as
a
a jokey
series?
one. But
Did
it's,
you?
yeah.
Fuck
But-
off.
Have they actually finished the last series then? And then they've
They're
just
not
not
making any
renewed it?
more. They couldn't
Oh,
agree
right.
on money.
Well, I'm not surprised because they're
No,
asking.
I think it's Sheldon just didn't want to do it anymore.
Fair enough.
And they'd like offered him like 4 times as much money, and he still said
Really?
no.
Like 4 million an episode?
Yeah, something
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, they've got young Sheldon to lean on for a while, so that's all
look
right.
at what the guys in Friends were getting in the last series, because hardly any of them wanted to come back. And they had
$1 million an episode, yeah.
Yeah. It was like they were just like, right here, have $1 million an episode. And they're like,
Big Bang Theory
okay.
guys are getting the same.
Yeah.
That was on the season before this one. So,
the guys were.
Sorry?
The guys were.
Not the girls. It's probably true.
No, it's
Anyway,
true. Wasn't
is it?
They split the money.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
but they've not
Yeah.
been in it for very long, have they, the girls? By comparison, they've been in the show for like half as long.
But that shouldn't
Not
matter,
Penny.
should it?
Penny's been in it since the beginning.
Oh, Penny, this is true.
Yeah.
She's probably a high earner. She must be.
She's probably getting double what the blokes are getting, to be honest, knowing her, because of the amount of like money she gets for the roles she does in sitcoms over the years, and she's stuck it out in that
and
one.
she must get a lot of geeky viewership, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's actually getting more than the guys, whereas the other women are getting less.
I wonder what's her name? Amy something?
Kaylee Calco.
I wonder how many times her name has been typed into the Google with, followed by the word porn.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. There's weird nerds out there.
Photoshop porn of film stars. That's a massive thing. It's crazy.
Apparently
Weird. Star Trek, last one.
Oh, well, there's a lot going on with Star Trek,
There is.
isn't there?
It's doomed.
Why is it doomed?
It's all doomed.
Why is it doomed? What do you think's doomed about it?
Okay, so the main film franchise. So
Yeah, that's doomed.
the Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine have both
Yeah.
backed out because the film studio decided that the last movie didn't make as much money as they quite wanted it to, so they tried to
lower their
reduce their pay.
Yeah.
And they said, no, that's all right. If you're going to do that, we'll walk away. And
Fair enough.
they went. Yeah.
Called their bluff on it, did they?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So, you don't have Kirk, and you don't have Kirk's father.
No.
And at the same time, Discovery. So the talk is that Discovery, the plan was they were going to fold that into, and the reason why it looks a little bit different to some of the other shows is that they were planning to fold it into the Kelvin timeline, which is the movie timeline.
Right, okay.
But they're about to get sued for plagiarism.
Yeah.
So
Massively.
Yeah. So, do you know about this?
Yeah, I used to play the game.
Okay.
And it didn't even occur to me when I was watching it, the show.
So it's not a Star Trek game.
No.
It's
Yeah, it's like a little indie game.
okay. What's it called? Can you remember?
I think it's called Tardigrade or Tardigrades.
No, it is. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I don't even have to look at my phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tardigrades, and there's a character in it. The captain of the ship in Tardigrades is like
4 characters in it that look and are pretty much
exactly the same as characters from Discovery.
Yeah.
So you've got a mixed
race gay couple. Yeah.
and you've got the what's the girl's name? Michael,
Yeah,
Captain Michael or something. The captain looks a lot like Michael from Discovery. So yes, they're about to get the pants sued off them.
Yeah.
Apparently they ignored when the guy who made Tardigrades just contacted them and said,
You're using my
guys,
my
that's my idea.
original property here.
I don't mind, just give me a bit of money and I'll ignore it. And then they ignored him.
Yeah.
So just put him in a cupboard somewhere. Just chuck those letters away. Dispose of those in the bin, will you?
But on another note, they've got the second series coming out.
Yep.
And Spock's going to be in it.
Yes, and he's been cast by a different actor,
Yeah.
with a different actor as well, of course.
They've also got another character, I can't remember who it was, that's going to be in it. They're changing the look of the Klingons again.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know what that was. It's just a Klingon
Very,
coughing.
very rude.
Somebody out there will translate it for us.
They're changing the look of the Klingons again. They're apparently doing lots of 15-minute short films about characters from the Star Trek universe to be
I didn't like the
online.
rapey one.
The what?
The rapey Klingon.
Oh yeah.
She was horrible.
Yeah, it's very weird.
That's a dark storyline, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
Really
like,
dark.
how can we make this really dark? Well, the woman's the hench, muscly one who rapes the guy.
Although I prefer that to the alternative universe thingy, the upside down universe or whatever it's called.
Mirror universe.
The mirror universe, that's the one.
Is that
I
word,
don't like
isn't it?
that storyline.
What, the captain is actually...
Well, I don't like
From
the
the
mirror
mirror.
universe.
Oh, I love it. When it's done right.
Yeah.
It's not done right in this.
Okay, fair enough.
And then you've got the Picard series that's coming out.
Oh yeah, Captain
Right?
Picard series.
Some unnamed Picard series, which has not really been explained.
So I sat on the bridge and the first ensign walked in, and I looked at her, and all her clothes fell off, and I could see everything.
Just everything.
But at least with regards to that, if it's a Picard series, that will probably carry on the lineage of like our Deep Space Nine and all the like,
it's
classic
linked
Star
to
Trek.
It's linked to
Discovery, is it?
Apparently,
Shit.
that's stuff I've read that they're saying that it's going to be in the future, but the same point rather than just next generation.
Too many balls, man. Too many balls.
Yeah, but you've also got the Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film.
Yes, of course.
Like,
yeah.
what the hell? Like, why are you trying to do so much Star Trek with so many different places and styles and settle on something?
This is
and
like
just do
DC.
it.
This is like a DC thing.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, you just start somewhere and
just
carry on with
throwing shit at the wall and
Yeah.
hoping that it doesn't fall on your face when you go and lean on the wall. It just doesn't make any sense. You know you're going to get covered in shit, so stop throwing it around.
That was a widely recognised metaphor that Adam just gave us there. Anyhow, yes, it's bonkers. I really like Star Trek, and I started watching Deep Space Nine again just
It's
recently.
my favourite,
and
one of my
so
favourite
good.
TV shows of all time.
I think I said this on a previous podcast. The mistake I made with trying to get the missus involved with it was watching episode 1 because it's so slow.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on, and it's all conversational, and Picard's in it, and that's like the most exciting thing. And
But
she's
all
like,
her
"No,
clothes
I'm
fell
out.
off."
I don't want to watch that anymore." What's that? All our clothes fell off. What?
Have you not seen Extras?
No, I've never seen
Oh
Extras.
wow! Okay.
So Picard,
Patrick Stewart.
is, and he's on a film set, and Ricky Gervais's character's on a film set, and he's you know the gist of Extras,
Yes.
where
yeah.
everybody plays ridiculous versions of themselves.
Yep. Okay.
Like Kate Winslet bangs on about, she's like, "Oh,
Trying to get an Oscar.
Trying to get an Oscar. I just need to play a retard."
I just need to do a World War II film or play a retard.
Right.
She keeps,
So Patrick Stewart's thing is, he's like, Ricky Gervais goes in to see him. He's going, "I've got a script." He's like, it's funny you should say that. I've got a production company.
Right.
It's like, "Let me tell you about this movie I'm getting made." It's like, I'm in it, playing me. And I've got powers, you see, like Magneto in like
Xavier.
Professor X. And you've seen me in X-Men, haven't you? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, "Well, I'm cycling along on my bike, and there's this really pretty policewoman. She's walking towards me, and I look at her, and all her clothes fall off, just in a pile on the floor. And by then I've seen everything." And he just does this, and he's like,
keeps going on, doesn't he? I was in a helicopter, and these two ladies get on the helicopter,
and I've rescued them.
I've rescued them. And suddenly, all their clothes just fall off, and it's too late because I've seen everything.
And then I'm in a movie with Posh Spice, and then Ricky Gervais is like, "The clothes fall off?" And he's like, "Yes," and I've seen everything. And it's just so brilliant. It's like, even Ricky Gervais and Steve Merchant said that was one of the ones where they were like, "I can't believe he's saying what we've written down."
Okay.
It's worth what I'll lend you it. It's really good.
It's worth just looking at that clip on.
Both series are
It's
worth
all on
watching.
Netflix,
They're
right?
great fun. Is it? Oh right.
Yeah,
Cool.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
I rewatched it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's worth watching.
I lied when I said the last one.
DC.
Yeah, we haven't done DC yet.
Well, we've
So
got to
episode
save the
quick,
worst till last.
because what have we been recording for about an hour, 2 hours almost.
Cool.
Okay, that's a healthy show.
Yeah.
Kind of a last but not last show.
Yeah.
Kind of a wrap up for a while show.
Yeah.
We'll try and do another one of these at some point or another. This
Yeah.
is fun. Quite like this. It's a bit more conversational than usual, and
Yeah.
less structured.
Do
A
And,
this.
bit more fun.
On a Friday with beers
yeah,
and fish and chips, it'd be fucking brilliant.
and I
Just
don't have to
like
do
every
any
6
editing.
weeks.
No.
You just stick it out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a go at that.
Yeah.
Okay, DC then. DC Universe.
Yes, it's a mess. We can safely say that.
Aquaman looks alright, they done it.
No.
I don't think it does.
Too
I
much
think
of it's underwater.
I
No,
think-
Underwater.
it just looks
Huh?
too graphic-y. Like, it's got that...
It's underwater.
Yeah, no,
mate.
but
Never
in the
saw
sense
it.
that...
If it was a Mission Impossible movie, it would
No.
have cost $100 billion.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, as in, like, it's
Brilliant.
so Snyder vision-y that it just doesn't work for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing looks
personally-
even slightly in keeping with anything else.
I think the DC universe has looked like white hot trash for almost all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I'd even say Nolan's Batman's Gotham doesn't look Gotham-y enough.
True.
No.
I'll agree with that.
No,
completely.
but then they tried.
It just looks.
They
too much
tried
like
to make
Carvens, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, but with those, they still look. Everything looks in keeping with its style and its genre. You know, they've made it more gritty. They've made it more sort of like modern in its take. But then Man of Steel came out, and from Man of Steel onwards, everything's been almost like Batman and Robin, like
I
ridiculously
really like
bad graphics.
I like the tentpole ones. So I like Superman, Man of Steel. I like Batman vs Superman. I like Justice League. It was all right.
None of these films are good, Chris.
No,
They're
all
they're not.
Wonder
films.
Woman was good.
Wonder Woman's all right.
Wonder
yeah.
Woman was very good.
And Wonder Woman looks different to all the others because it's set in the past and in the First World War.
It's only that last fight where it goes Snyder Vision-y that it loses me. Like, up until that last fight, Wonder Woman is a great film, and then it's ruined by that last scene.
Shit ending. Yeah, this is true. However, you know, I still defend Batman vs Superman. I still defend Man of Steel. I really like them as films. But Justice League, there are some serious holes in that. And Wonder Woman, serious hole at the end.
Now, if you're saying there's serious holes in Justice League, then that means that they're far worse than the serious holes in Batman and Superman and Batman versus Superman.
Nah, there aren't really any serious holes in Man of Steel.
Well, it's not very good.
It's pretty cool. I like it. It's like the best Superman film, like in the original series of Superman films, which was Superman 2 in my opinion. No, Superman 3, isn't it?
I like the one
where Zod turns up. It's like a remake of that, basically.
No, it's Superman 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
I like 3 because it's got Richard Pryor in.
Yeah.
But it's got the freaky robot lady at the end. I don't like that.
Can't remember it.
Yeah.
She gets turned into a computer and it's horrible. It disturbed me.
Yeah.
It made you the IT technician you are today.
The thing is, you look back at the old DC films and you look back at the old Batman films until they got to the point where they did Batman and Robin.
Batman Returns.
And Batman Forever. Even
It's
Batman
alright,
Forever's like not a bad film. There's bad bits in it, and visually it's not that pleasing.
Batman
but it's
Forever
not
and Batman and Robin are atrocious.
No,
They're both
Batman
really bad.
Forever's okay.
Yeah,
It's not
too
awful.
bad.
It's okay. It's between awful Batman and Robin and the first two. It's halfway. It's not.
Characterizations in it are just. Ugh.
No, Riddler's fine. I don't mind it. Tommy Lee Jones ain't great as Two-Face, but it's more believable than. It's more believable than Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze.
My favourite thing about Batman Forever is my friend Adam Wilson. We went to watch it, and we all went to watch a Batman movie, and he went to watch a Jim Carrey movie. 'Cause he was such a fan of Jim Carrey.
Right.
We were like, yeah, Batman, and Adam was just sat like hysterically dying to himself. And this is incredible. Like Adam did this thing where he would
Just get a little bit close to your mic there, mate.
because this was a long time ago, he would videotape the audio of Jim Carrey movies onto audio cassette just so that he could listen to them on the bus.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
And he'd just sit on the bus like creasing.
I used to do that with like the
used to do it
songs
with, like,
on
Eddie
the
Murphy things
end
and
credits
stuff
of
like
films and things like that, you know. But that's real fandom, that is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's
I
some
remember
proper
that. I had
fandom,
the
yeah.
bloody double single from Batman Forever, which is U2, Kiss Me Kill Me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I've got that on
Kiss
vinyl,
by
I think.
Rose.
Kiss by Rose on... That's a great song. From Seal.
But yeah, like you look at those films, and then you look at the original Supermans, and even the '60s Batman film, like, and then you look at like Nolan's, and you go, okay, they're all different styles, but they all keep within their style themselves. Like, other than Batman and Robin, which was just so ridiculously bad in all possible concepts, like nipples and everything. But then
Bat nips.
the new ones, it's like each one, there's Snyder Vision in it, but everything around that changes style, and like nothing fits together. And like 1 minute Batman's serious, and then he's Joker and like joking around, and then all the other characters are really serious, and then they're quite funny. And nothing makes sense with Lex Luthor, and the storyline doesn't connect up in places, and then everything's just in your face colour-wise. And now they're doing 3 Joker films.
So that's fucking.
It's just like either just do stories about all the different DC characters in separate films that are unconnected, and just tell cool stories, or work out what you're doing.
I reckon what's going to happen is you're going to carry on with your Justice League films, which are obviously going to include Wonder Woman 2. Aquaman. Probably the most important and defining one out of all of them coming is Shazam.
Shazam looks amazing.
It does, but you can't obviously tell by the trailer. They could still seriously screw this movie up.
Yeah, of course.
But that's still going to be, if you like, tentpole.
It's the only trailer that looks good.
Is Shazam the one that's going to be a bit like Green Hornet?
It's the little boy that turns into... It's Banana Man.
It's like a comedy,
it's a comedy. Yeah,
like Green Hornet's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. See what you mean. So yeah, it's very humorous by the looks of it.
All I want from DC is Green Lantern movie,
which is on the way. Tom Cruise turned down the part of.
Fuck that. He's no Hal Jordan.
But the problem we've got is
he's too old to be Hal Jordan.
Do you know why he turned down the part of Hal Jordan?
He's too old to be Hal Jordan.
No, because the character dies in the storyline at some point, right? Doesn't he die and somebody else takes over the Earth?
Yeah,
Green Lantern.
In the end,
that's not in the first
Green
film.
Lanterns, they're all from Earth.
Okay.
4?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Yeah, 4. 3 that are
John
cool
Stewart,
and one that's a bit of a prick.
Not John Stewart, I don't know.
Anyway, something to do with the death of Hal Jordan.
Gardner.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's 4. There are 4 Green Lanterns.
But the thing is, like, even if they do Green Lantern and they do all the others and they carry on with the Justice League thing, Ben Affleck's already said he's not going to do Batman again. There's already been talk about him like leaving the Batman film, so that's not going to happen. And if he does leave, and the only way they can fix that is by doing Flashpoint.
Yeah, which is fine.
And that's fine if they do Flashpoint well enough.
Yeah.
But going by what they've done so far, even Wonder Woman, which was a good film, was ruined by its ending. I can't imagine they're going to get Flashpoint right. And they've had a massive change in their people up the top. They've had a massive change in directors. They've had directors been sacked. They've had other directors brought in. It's just a mess. I can't see it working. It's just going to fall apart.
Where's the Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Nightwing movie as well?
Yeah. See, well, okay.
Like, weirdly, I'd be if Chris Nolan said I'm coming back and I'm directing the Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Nightwing movie, I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
As much as he's the worst director in Hollywood, but.
I'd be more up for that than I would like 3 Joker films that give him an origin, because he shouldn't have one.
I reckon you're going to end up with because like me, there are people out there that like Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel, and those what you could call tentpole films. So everything else, like Suicide Squad, is outside of that. And these 3 Joker films that are coming would be outside of that.
Well, no, one of them is like. Well, you say Suicide Squad's outside of it, but it isn't, because it's got Ben Affleck's Batman
in it. But he's only as like a bit part.
But he's in it. So in their way,
they've
connected it. And the way they seem to do things is if they've connected it, he's in Wonder Woman as Bruce Wayne sending her something. So it's connected. And they seem to have this thing that they're trying to do.
But it's not carrying the main storyline along, is it?
No, what happens if this Joker one, in their eyes, carries a story on for Batman? And the fact that what's-his-name is so up for playing the Joker again, he's paying for the film to be made, or like helping to produce it.
Producing a film isn't out of the ordinary.
No, but
quite a lot of stars do it.
He's doing it because they weren't going to do anything else with him.
A lot of them just put their name to a movie to get it greenlit, don't
He's
they?
probably really pissed off that they didn't do anything with like 70% of his part in
I think
Suicide
he's
Squad.
Annoyed that people said he was shit.
Yeah, because they didn't see 70% of what he'd done.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of that film on the cutting room floor, you know?
Yeah.
So,
there is.
I actually really like him. I think he's a very good actor, and he's a bit of a chameleon, and, you know, you tend to see him in films and don't realise that it's him. I'm sure I've seen him in loads and loads of films. What's his name that played the Joker?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah.
He was rubbish in Blade Runner.
I don't think he was.
I thought it was awful.
Mate, he's pretty good in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, that's the only film I've seen in him where I like.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good. He's pretty good, isn't he?
Those 2 films, I'd say, is really good. Suicide Squad, I didn't like any of his performance.
Oh yeah, but that's
And then-
that whole character.
no,
bullshit.
but yeah. But like,
Even
what I
though-
mean is, like, I've seen him in that. Like, maybe it's not his fault because the character was designed awfully as a version of the Joker. Blade Runner, I didn't think he was good at all. I found him just
I love that film.
I
Absolutely
love that film. I just don't like him. He's the only bit of the film that niggles at me. Every time he's on screen, I get brought out because I just don't find him believable as a character.
I'm going to go and watch it again this evening.
Everything else
What
in
are you
that
gonna
film's
watch?
amazing.
Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
Have you seen it yet?
No.
It's Ross.
amazing.
Go and download your 144 gigabyte
I've got
4K version
I've
of
got
it.
like the 4K version of it. I've also got the definitive cut of Blade Runner
Shit
queued up to watch
me.
it. Plus
Jesus
the
Christ.
plus the
Watch it then.
documentary about Blade Runner all ready to go, and I'm just finding the time.
Okay. They'd be good to watch back to back. And watch the three little, what are they called, like short films as well,
Webisodes or
that
whatever
were
they
that
call
were
them.
created. Some of them are like, well, one of them's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's an autumn/winter sort of thing.
Okay.
I know it'll be a year, but it'll
Sit down with a
yeah.
big pot of hot chocolate.
Sunday. Do a double bill it on a shitty Sunday.
6 hours of pure Blade Runner. Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, right. DC's screwed. DC TV shows. Do you want to touch on that quickly?
I think they'll be fine.
They'll carry
because
on as they are.
Some of them are weaker than others, and they will gradually peter out, and they'll just cancel them. And the stronger ones, I think, will last for a long time, and then they'll decide. Actors in them will decide they've had enough, and that they'll find a new character to then create, or a new version of the character.
I've lost my way with all of them, but I'm going to definitely watch Teen Titans.
Right.
I've
Because
never
that
seen any of them.
Looks rad. What, you've not seen?
Flash and Supergirl are the only ones I still watch.
You've never seen The Flash?
No.
It's
really
worth.
good. Yeah.
It's worth going back and looking
Yeah.
at season 1.
No, it's
It
not.
is.
It's not.
It's great, campy kind of superhero fun.
It's good
really good.
storylines, quite touching, moving moments,
Yeah,
but
true.
also silly fun. You know, it's exactly what you want from a superhero TV
Is it better
show.
than Rick and Morty?
I'd say it's not quite the same caliber of
Well, then it's
Cleverness,
got a long way to go.
but
innit?
yeah.
I'm going to rewatch that.
different style, though. Very, very different style.
Even Rick and Morty has some problems in season 1.
Yeah, but nobody cares because it's really good.
Doesn't have continuity problems, though.
No, just, yeah. A couple of the episodes are a bit lame, but, you know, even when you've seen them 7 times,
It's still good.
I'm going back and watching them 7 times. So, you know, says something, doesn't it? Anyway, right. Is that it, gentlemen?
No.
Is it not? What do you want to talk
Two
about?
things
Go on.
that I never talked about,
Go on.
but I finally watched.
Okay.
Go on.
Handmaid's Tale.
Ah, you finished season 2. Oh, you did the
It's-
whole of season 2.
It's the best TV show in the world.
It's very good, isn't
It's
it?
fucking amazing. I love it so much.
Really
It's
gripping
so
ending as well.
powerful.
Yep.
Like, it just haunts you for days.
And Adam's still refusing to watch it, I expect.
No, I'm not refusing to watch it. I didn't want to watch it, and then my mum watches it, and I decided to give it a go, and I watched a couple of episodes and just went, it's not for me.
Right.
I
Okay.
just don't find it
What
interesting.
an ending.
Yes. Season 2 is, yeah.
Just,
It's not like a cliffhanger. It's like a fuck yeah kind of ending, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what
I've
the
heard
hell's
good
going to
things,
happen?
Right.
So-
and nearly finished Westworld season 2.
Okay.
I
We're
still
like
haven't
3
watched any of
episodes
that.
to go.
Also very good.
It's very good, isn't
I
it?
haven't had a chance to
I'm
watch that
preferring
yet.
it to the season 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got 3 episodes to go. You've still got some surprises, which is, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
haven't
like,
seen any of season 2 yet. I need to get around to
there's
it.
some very clever things with Westworld, and I like the way they do that. They keep you just like,
Right.
you think it's a linear thing, and you're following it along.
Samurai World.
And, like, Samurai World is
that
quite cool.
Samurai episode. Is
Yep.
just like,
It's a shame they're only in it for 1 episode.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't want to watch it now. If there's only 1 episode.
Samurai.
They,
Yeah, but,
they gave you a sneak peek of it at the end of season 1, and then...
There's another world that they're only in for like 2 minutes of like 1 episode.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. And you don't
So
see
there's a possibility
anything
they'll
else
go
from it
back
at all.
to stuff
But
like
there's
in the
definitely going to
future.
be a
but
medieval world.
Do you know-
There's gotta be,
Do you know the one I mean?
Yeah, the first episode, isn't it?
Is it where he finds his daughter?
No, his daughter comes out of it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that in the first? That's not the first episode, is it? No, it's
Yeah,
there's
no.
a little way through. Anyway, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an ancient India kind of world.
Yeah, not even that ancient, just colonial
Yeah,
India.
that's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah. Like
the
Gandhi era.
Neanderthals. to cut that out. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that really accidentally racist. Like
What was that?
voice.
What did you say?
Just
I
did a
tried to
really
do Indiana
racist
Jones
accent.
voice, but from when they're like, what's it called? What's that temple called? What's the
Temple of Doom?
Doom.
No, but it's got a name, hasn't it?
I don't know. I don't like Indiana Jones.
I watched Last Crusade last night, actually.
It's a good film.
Yeah, it was all right.
Very good film.
First saw that I had this nostalgic conversation with my other half. I said, I first saw this film on a plane when I was on my way to America when I was 11 years old.
What did Disneyland?
Yeah, went to Florida when I was a kid. It was a nice family holiday.
Amazing.
And Indiana Jones was on the plane. You know, back in the day when you sat and you plugged your headphones into the seat and you watched the one screen right at the front in the middle of the aisle.
Don't know. I've never been on a plane properly like that.
Nowadays, it's not like that. Everybody gets their own little entertainment centre on the back of the
planes,
like the back of the headrest of the person in front of them. You've got like their own TV. But yeah. Anyway,
last thing I wanted
good.
to mention was No Man's Sky, the new update that I waited for when I bought it on my PS4, and I'd played some No Man's Sky before that,
right?
And then the updates made it just an amazing game. And
okay,
I'd say with the update,
has it made it a multiplayer game?
Yeah, me and my mate. Two or three of my mates. You can play 4 people at once. You can join into each other's games and take all your stuff with you.
Right. Okay.
And then, you just sort of.
So it's not open universe. You can just bump into people.
You can bump into orbs. So someone will be an orb, and you can communicate with the orb by leaving messages that the other person in their game can read. But you can't see each other. It's only if you join into someone's game that you can actually see them.
So you can communicate them with this little orb, and then decide that you want to be in that person's game and join them.
Yeah, it did have complete.
Right.
Like, did they patch it? Because it had. I got it when I went into town and paid like £10 for it. Because, and actually, weirdly, it's become so hard to get on physical copy because of this patch. It's actually the trade-in value's gone up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This game. Yeah.
It's a really, really
you
good
get between
game.
£15 and £17 trading it in.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's easily one of my favourite games of this year, like since the patch, because it's a totally different game, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that and Spider-Man just all the way at the moment.
Any movies you want to recommend ever so quickly? I've got 2 straight off the bat.
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it?
Amazing.
Cool.
Really good. Really good second part to the first one.
Okay.
No.
Any others?
No. Oh yeah, 7. Watch it. It's
Watch
fucking
7.
Brilliant, yeah.
Blast from the
Watched it
past.
First time for like 15 years. It's so amazing.
Can't think what else I've watched. It's been such a while since we. Yeah.
If anyone likes like a nice emotional high school drama, Love, Simon. That's very good.
Oh yeah.
So it's about a guy trying to deal with the fact that he's gay and decide what he's going to do about coming out and stuff, and that time in his life, and all the horrendous things that can go wrong with that.
Very good book that people take out a lot of the library.
Okay, brilliant film, very well done. If it doesn't make you cry, you're a rock. And
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp
very
looks
good.
okay. I've seen some of a dodgy copy of it.
I went to
Stop
cinema
watching it.
and it was amazing.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
And
More of the same, really.
Upgrade. That's a fantastic
I've
film.
heard about this.
So it's Blumhouse. It's a guy that gets a chip stuck in his neck because he's lost the ability to walk, and he's lost the ability to walk because he's been shot up and his
Basically,
wife was
people are
killed.
saying that Venom is a rip-off of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, they
To
are
a
very
certain
similar
degree.
storylines.
Yeah.
It's a human being that gets upgraded and suddenly has superpowers, and it's like dark revenge type stuff.
Apparently, it's very similar in its style and movement of the character and everything,
And
which is a bit
the
shocking.
main actor does look a bit like Tom Hardy.
Oh, does he?
Just a little bit skinnier. I can see that, actually, now you say it. But yeah. Really worth watching, though.
Yeah,
There's an
I've
HD
heard
version of it online. Please go and watch it. It's brilliant. Right. That'll do us, won't it?
That is us for now.
Yeah.
Nice one, guys. Thank you very much for listening. And yeah, you can find our podcast in all the usual places. All the stuff that we do outside the podcast, that's all linked on our Facebook page. Oh, of course, we're doing a beer festival this coming weekend
We are.
in East Cowes. So if you've made it to the end of this podcast, congratulations. Come and see us in East Cowes and collect your free beer mat from the Waverley Caravan Park.
Yeah.
It's not a special one or anything.
No.
I'll just give you one from off a table. Just
Yeah.
come and find me.
Yeah.
I'll be hosting with Adam.
Hello.
There'll be loads
And
of
bobbing.
music and bobbing.
We do have a bobbin.
Good
I'm
stuff.
not sure how much of the weekend because he's got other things, gigs and stuff, but he will be there.
Cool.
So he will be
Okay.
joining us.
Pretty sure it's the Friday night we've got him.
Yeah.
And what else is going on? Oh, yeah, loads of music, loads of spoken word. And
Some
it starts
comedy.
at 6 o'clock, or is it 7 in the evening on the Friday? Either 6 or 7. Look for the event on the Facebook page. The Waverley Park Beer Poetry Music Festival 2018. And you'll find the schedule on there. I think it's 6 or 7 on the Friday. It's 4 o'clock each day on
I think it's about
Saturday and
6,
Sunday.
6 Friday.
We'll probably
Yeah.
be partying until about midnight.
Yeah. I got the weekend off, so I'm getting trashed.
Absolutely.
First time in ages.
And then you've got a Cow Speak coming up, Adam. What's that, a month away?
20th, yes, 20th of September.
Good stuff.
So
Well,
a week and a bit.
I'd say we'll
Yeah.
advertise that a
days.
little bit closer to the time, but just in case we don't do a podcast.
Yeah.
Cow
It's only
Speak
10 days away.
at the Anchor. Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was like
10 days
next
away.
month.
No, 20th of September.
If I
Cool.
had to record another podcast within the next 10 days, I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't have anything to talk about either.
Cow Speak at the Anchor in Cows. 20th of September, did you say?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
That's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thursday comedy night.
Woo. Right.
Spoken word.
Say goodbye, guys.
See you
Goodbye.
later. Bye.
Bye. Catch you another time.